Welcome to a new Word Power episode from English Plus Podcast. Today we're going to talk about something that is interesting to know about, and of course, we will learn a few words along the way in context. That's what we do in Word Power. Now, we will talk about synchronized actions and how they increase the connection between people, like dancing. But before we start, let me tell you about the words we're going to uncover at the end of the episode. We're going to unpack useful words like synchronized, endorphins, team cohesion, boost, and bonding. Now, all these terms connect us to the world around us, and we will see how we can use these words in real life. But let's start with the topic, of course. Have you ever wondered why group dance routines make us feel like we're suddenly part of a super squad? Or why we feel this bizarre unity during a round of karaoke, especially on that last off-key note that everyone hits together? And why do we end up feeling weirdly connected after a long, grueling day of, well, synchronized anything? Could there be some secret sauce in moving in rhythm with others that gives us this magical feeling of togetherness, even if the dancing itself is, well, let's be real, terrible? Turns out that science has a few things to say about this. And it's more than just you're all in this mess together. Let's dig into why syncing up with others, whether it's dancing, clapping, or even nodding along at the same time, can actually boost our feelings of connection and make us feel, dare I say, human. So hold on to your dancing shoes because we're about to waltz right into the science behind why grooving together makes us all feel like best buds, even if only for a song or two. Now, I know that you're thinking, Danny, really? You're telling me that moving in sync with people, like we're in some kind of dance cult, is the key to connection? Yes, I am. And it's more than just a weird party trick. Studies have shown that synchronizing our actions with others creates a magical little cocktail of social bonding. When you match someone's movements, your brains do a little happy dance of their own. For example, take dancing. There's nothing like flailing around with a group of people to make you feel close, especially when you all decide in unison to revive the Macarena. This feeling of connection isn't just limited to dance floors either. It can happen during any synchronized action: singing, marching, clapping, or even something as simple as walking in step. And it's not just psychological, it's physiological. Our brains release those feel-good chemicals, endorphins, oxytocin, the whole shebang. It's almost like nature's way of saying, see, you're not that different from each other. Now go forth and high five. But let's not romanticize it too much. Yes, synchronized activities can make us feel closer, but it doesn't mean you'll become best friends with every stranger you're nodding along with in an elevator. Imagine trying to strike up a lifelong friendship with the person next to you at the DMV just because you both sighed at the same time. It's a recipe for awkwardness. But it's true that even these small acts of shared rhythm do boost a subtle sense of connection, however fleeting. So why does this happen? Well, our good friend evolution has a hand in it. For thousands of years, humans survived by sticking together. We needed to cooperate to hunt, gather, and yes, avoid getting eaten by something with very sharp teeth. So any behavior that reinforced group harmony, like moving in sync, was a bonus in the survival department. It's like we've evolved to think, if I can clap along with these people, maybe they won't abandon me when a saber-toothed tiger shows up. Thanks, evolution. Now, let's take it one step further. Studies have shown that when we synchronize with others, it actually boosts our tolerance for pain. No kidding. Ever tried to learn a group dance where no one really knows the steps and everyone's just trying not to step on each other's toes? Well, the next time you feel hurt after a round of poorly executed salsa, just remember, it's not pain, it's bonding. It's science, people. Well, in fact, this syncing up effect is so powerful that companies and the military use it to build team cohesion. Well, think about it. Marching in time, clapping at company meetings, or the classic group chant to get everyone pumped up. These all serve to get everyone on the same wavelength, literally. And before you know it, you're high-fiving Jim from accounting like you've known him your entire life. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're feeling a bit isolated, maybe all you need is a little group groove session. Go take that dance class, join that drum circle, or at the very least, march to the beat of the same broken photocopier as your coworkers. Who knows? You might just feel a bit more connected to the world around you and to Jim from accounting as well. So as we wrap up, here's something to ponder next time you're at a concert, a fitness class, or just awkwardly bopping your head to music in public with strangers around you. Is it possible that by moving in sync, we're tapping into one of the oldest and most profound ways to feel connected to one another? Or are we just trying to find a rhythm in a world that sometimes feels a little out of tune? And hey, if the science is right, maybe the world just needs a bit more dancing. Think about it. Well, and now comes the time for our vocabulary in context. All right, let's dive into some of the cool vocabulary that popped up while we talked about synchronized dancing and all those surprising ways it makes us feel closer to people. We're not just here to talk about the science. We're here to get a handle on how we can use these words and phrases in our own lives. First up, let's talk about synchronized. Now, we use this word to describe actions that happen at the same time, in harmony, like people dancing or clapping together. But you don't have to be on a dance floor to use it. Think about when you and your friends seem to sync up on things, like deciding to order pizza just as someone else suggests it. You might say, "We were so synchronized on that decision." It's a great way to talk about being on the same page, whether it's ideas, actions, or plans. Then we talked about endorphins, our built-in feel-good chemicals. This one's fun because it's all about those happy vibes we get from things like exercise, laughter, or yes, even a great dance session. So if you're feeling stressed and go for a jog, you could say, "I needed those endorphins to lift my mood." It's a nice shorthand for talking about anything that gives you a little natural high. Another good one is team cohesion. Now, it might sound fancy, and it might be, but it is just about how well people work together, especially when they're aligned in purpose. Imagine trying to get a project done with your coworkers. If you're all getting along and moving in the same direction, you could say our team has great cohesion. It's that magical ingredient that makes teamwork work. And what about boost? We use boost in so many ways. But here, it's all about giving a little extra push, like when synchronized actions give a boost to our feelings of connection. Now, you might boost your confidence before a big presentation by practicing in front of a friend. Or if you're trying to encourage someone, you could say, "I'm here to boost your morale." And lastly, let's go over bonding. In our episode, we talked about bonding through shared activities. But bonding doesn't need anything fancy. It's about connecting with people over the little things, like laughing at the same joke or complaining about the same traffic. You could say, for example, "We bonded over our shared love of terrible reality TV." It's a casual way to talk about the glue that holds friendships together. Now, let's finish with something for you to think about. How often do we rely on shared activities to build connections without even realizing it? And have you ever found yourself feeling more connected to someone just by doing something as simple as walking in step with them? Well, think about these questions and let me know. Of course, in the comment section, you're more than welcome to discuss what you think about these questions, and let's start a conversation. With that being said, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Danny from English Plus Podcast. I will see you next time. But before I leave you, remember, never stop learning with English Plus Podcast.